Now it's
Well,
recording.
for fans,
Now it's recording, is it?
Yeah.
I was the guinea pig.
For what?
I got a bunch of stuff. You just did a load.
Is that why you run round in circles? Just
Yeah,
eat
yeah,
cheeks and
yeah.
stuff.
Right, episode 2 of the New Dawn podcast. And we are joined today by Tango and Glenn. And topic of today is our under-17s, under-19s program. Which is why we're joined by Tango, who is now the head coach of the under-17s, and Glenn, head coach of the under-19s, or youth and junior respectively. So, Tango, been around the Knights for, what, 35 years?
Yep.
Almost since the beginning of it.
Since the beginning of time, it feels like.
Since they wore leather helmets back in the day,
they
huh?
did. And studs were actually a nail put into your boot and bent over. Yeah.
That was just you, I think. So now taking on the under-17s team, it was an honour for you to say yes to that, and I think me and Dave were both very excited about the fact that you have taken that on with, probably second to none on experience in Brick Bowl right now. So tell us a little bit about your history within Brick Bowl.
Cool, my history. 85, 86. I was
1785.
1985, 1986, somewhere around there. I'd just been banned from ring sport and I needed a sport to release my aggression. And a friend said, come to American football. Oh, rugby with pads. Yeah, that's it. From the first training session I went to, I was done. That's all I wanted to play. And I thought the helmet and the shoulder pads were a weapon, but they're really not. It's there to protect you. And I found that the game is a game of chess between human beings with the best athletes they can possibly put on the field. And I've loved the game, addicted to the game. Went on to play for England, captain England. Went on to play for Great Britain, captain Great Britain. Played out in Europe with the Knights. Been all over the world with it, thank goodness. Played Team USA 5 times I think I played against Team USA. Absolutely loved it. It's brought me so much fun. Even down to the North-South games, people that I've met playing from other teams are friends of mine now, still to this day. I may have hated them when we were on the field, but from the last whistle of the game, no, they've all become great mates. I love the game, love it.
So as far as with the Knights organisation goes, you've been obviously a player, captain, offensive line coach, head coach, offensive coordinator. You've done pretty much everything. So tell us a bit about that. Talk about your time as head coach, talk about your time as a player.
My time as head coach, long story why I become head coach. I had to become head coach. We had a issue in the team. Long story. Becoming head coach taught me a lesson that you rely on everyone below you. And if even from the water boy to the team manager, the game prep person, if any one of them doesn't pull their weight, it comes back to you. And that is hard work. And I've never respected in the past my head coaches and to the head coach now, the Knights, what they have to go through. And that's when you find out this is really about team. It is about the player, it is about the coach, it is about the committee, the management, the directors, it is everyone. And if you don't all pull together, it all comes back to the head coach.
It's a big family.
Yeah, it's a big family. And to be daddy at the end of the table, it's nice to say this is mine. This is my train set, this is my organisation. But it never really is. It's a family.
Well, that's definitely what we're trying to get back to, I think.
Yeah, the best days.
Yeah, get back to, everyone working together. So now stepping into the under-17 head coaching role, as I say, I know I'm excited about that, getting so much experience and so much experience coaching the future of this organisation, I guess. But tell us why has that come about?
both my sons play rugby, and both of them want to try American football. The first one's just become of age,
Yeah.
and I'm loving coaching him. The kid's a sponge. He's an outstanding athlete, and I think maybe this year, maybe next year, definitely he'll end up at GB. And if he doesn't, there won't be any detention, there won't be any Xbox. It's going to go a lot further than that. This is what we got, the family of the Knights, okay? Head coach Tootles just pulled me out, said, come and be famous. I didn't even know we were coming in here. But 3 of the senior players have just stepped into coaching my boys. Just stepped in and they're getting on with it. When you have that sort of organisation, that set up, I mean, we're here now at Cove School, this is amazing. But the way the 3 teams are gelling together, all helping each other, I can only ever see success and happiness.
Well, that was the big thing, like with our conversation and the vision of the club moving forward was it's a program from the under-17s all the way through to the seniors. And, you know, you see how a high school with a junior high and so far and so down, it's all run with one sort of view to get that 13-year-old boy or girl that turns up ready to play senior football for the Knights, right? So, you know, we made a conscious decision of being able to run everything very, very similar. Obviously, you know, the under-17s are playing 5-a-side football and the seniors are playing 11-a-side football. So there will be some natural differences and some natural things that you have to change. But terminology that we use, body angles, body positional, fundamentals of football, they're all the same from the seniors down to the juniors. And it's got to be a focus of teaching football first. You know, with the under-17s and under-19s, there seem to be a lot of people that are just out to win no matter what at that 5-a-side football game. Whereas for me, I know for me, it's all about teaching those kids how to play football. And, you know, honestly, at 13, they're going to change an awful lot between 13 and 18, and then again between, you know, 18 and 25. So they might be an offensive lineman or defensive lineman at 17, but then by the time they make the senior team, they might be a corner. Do you know what I mean? And it's teaching them to be able to play football and understand every position and everything about football as much as they can, as soon as possible. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you were saying about the senior players stepping in, because we pulled you away from your 2 teams. The senior players, you know, that was one of the big things for us, is making sure that the senior players will help step in and basically be your coaching staff. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I just look at the adult team roster, and you don't have to go too far, and you find a product of our junior football program.
Yeah.
And like Tom from last week,
Exactly,
you know, team captain, he came through.
Yeah.
Glenn, you came through as well, didn't you?
Exactly.
I actually just spoke to the under-17s. I was coaching just now, and I said how a pleasure it was. I coached Tom Alfreitas, who we're talking about, who is now on the Great Britain senior team. I coached him at 16 and 17. I took him to Great Britain, under-17s, and 3 of my offensive linemen made the 5 offensive linemen start. And that was 46 offensive linemen turned up for that, and 3 Knights made it. 1 London Blitz and 1 Malt Warrior. I was so impressed that my guys have made it, and Tom was one of them. And he has gone on to play I think he played England under-19s, and then when he got to senior football, he actually had a year out and went and played in Europe for money. Good luck to him. Came back, and now he's playing for the Knights. An outstanding player, I must say. He is an outstanding player, and now playing for GB, and makes me proud to know what he's achieved over the 10 years he's been involved with football. It's amazing and lovely to watch.
So Glenn, under-19s head coach now.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your history and a little bit about playing and your history with the Knights and how it's come to be the head coach in under-19s.
So I think it would be about 10 years ago now, when NFL really came back into the UK through Sky and all that stuff, I got into watching it then. Obviously my dad was into the Sky and all the NFL beforehand when it originally was here. I got watching it, and then I think it was one summer I was like, I just want to play the sport. So we looked up the teams closest at this time. Farnham Knights were actually in Farnborough.
And that goes back to being nomadic.
Yeah, so that was when we were there. I came over. It was a couple of other coaches that were there who have moved on from the Knights now. Obviously helped me through the first season.
Was that with the youth program? Was
that was I did one game in the juniors, which was about my second training session in.
Right.
Got thrown straight in at the deep end. Played with people like Lexi and and didn't actually play with Aaron at the time. Played one game. We did somehow win that game. It was ridiculous. But then unfortunately that season we folded. We just didn't have enough numbers, so I then dropped questionably down to the youth side for the rest of the season just to keep training. Playing the five-a-side game. Played one tournament with those guys.
So how old were you at this point?
I would have been, I think I was 17 at the time.
Right.
I think it's been a while.
Must have been 16 if you were
16,
playing.
yeah. So it's just around the end of around there. Obviously was able to play there, learn the five-a-side game, then took a step up with as many as we could. We didn't have a team the first year I played or the second season I played in juniors. We played some five-a-side. We really only had 1 or 2 games that year. But then the next year we were able to go into the tournaments and get into at the time it was 9-a-side, with people like Rookie and other people like that who are now in the senior team. We, my last season in juniors and their first season, we went undefeated all the way to the final, the junior final, where we played the Warriors, I believe it was. We didn't win that game.
Undefeated season and lost the last one, huh?
Yeah. I think we were putting up about 40 to 50 points a game.
Oh wow.
And conceding like less than double-digit points most games.
That team was quite stacked though, wasn't
Yeah.
it? You look around the league now, and be it either with us or with other teams, there's an awful lot of those players that are now star players on various different teams in the Premiership around the country.
Oh yeah, that was a hell of a season for us. In that final, I obviously struggled personally. We didn't do as great as we were expecting, which is disappointing for my last season there. But from there, moved on to the senior team. Decided to choose defensive line at that point because at junior level we were playing every position possible.
As it should be, I think. You know what I mean?
It was a great experience. I was able to learn offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, running back, fullback. Not much further back than that, but yeah, learn all of those positions, learn all of those skills. Went up to the seniors, went on to defensive end when it was the year after we got promoted into Div 1, after the team folded. Then pretty much came in as a starter. Started the first couple of seasons, then we went into the finals into that season with all the other coaches that were there. Unfortunately, during that season, I tore my ACL.
Never a good thing.
No, which effectively has put me out of playing most of the time now. I never really.
Well, you came back 2 years ago?
Came back to obviously had a couple of years out recovering. Came back for a year, and then tore it again. Playing at Farnham, obviously that was in the Prem, and since then I've taken a step back from playing, and from last season was doing a lot more coaching focused, which was around the defensive line and special teams, focusing on last season. Obviously then helped out with the under-17s for a year, which was with Tutul, and then this year have been given the honour of taking up the head coach for the under-19s.
So between the two of you, there's quite a lot of experience in the under-17s, under-19s, and I love that. I mean, I as Glenn said there, I stepped in to coach the under-17s and try and do the under-19s team 2 years ago now. And I tell you, it's a lot of hard work trying to manage all those kids and parents and trying to recruit and everything else that goes with it. And we had the under-17s over the last couple of years has been a very small squad, but the last couple of years, turning up to tournaments with 6 players to play a 5-a-side game, but then 5 of those 6 players make it into the GB setup.
Oh, yeah.
That shows that what we're doing, teaching of fundamentals really does work. And now, the big push is on to make the team, make the under-17s and under-19s, great again, I guess. You know what I mean? Talking about winning national championships and blah, blah, blah. It would be really nice to do that. But for me, getting as many kids in the program as possible and teaching them how to play properly and teaching them how to play well is got to be the big focus. And you two seem to be, all over that. And I love it.
Oh yeah, the obviously playing at the time, obviously you always want to win, but taking like the coaching points from last year, it was more if we taught them how to do everything right, the winning would come, and you knew,
winning's a byproduct of decent, abilities, and with football, the fundamentals of them, people brush over them far too easy and focus too much on playbooks and fancy plays and trying to show off their knowledge and whatever else. But if we can, at this age, I mean, what the youngest on your team right now is what 13 and a day or something, and going against technically could go against an almost 17-year-old. That's quite a big age range, isn't it? And I mean, your boy's what 13,
Yep.
Just about to turn 14.
Yep.
And he's changed an awful lot this year. He's grown an awful lot this year, and he's going to grow again. But going against a 16, almost 17-year-old, physically, he's at a disadvantage. But if we can teach him how to use his athletic ability, which he definitely has, to the best of his ability, technique-wise and whatever else, then he's going to be able to compete and, hopefully win and dominate against bigger, stronger, more experienced players, as long as his fundamentals are proper,
Oh yeah, that showed last year. One of the under-17s who stepped up into the under-19s, Alex. He was incredible last year. I think he was the only one not to be in the GB squad, unfortunately.
Yeah, so he joined us.
He joined us
partway through the season, and he was very, new to the game, never played before, took to it really well, and it took him a couple of tournaments to learn his get his confidence, I guess.
Yeah, but then he was one of the best players at the team.
Fantastic player, yeah.
Teaching him the fundamentals, and I think he'll be great in the.
Yeah, absolutely. His confidence has changed an awful lot from the last game of last season to this practice sessions now.
Yeah, I think that's what we're shown, that actually any size can beat any player if you know the fundamentals.
Alex is a baller.
Yeah. Well, it comes back to that word that we use an awful lot right now, which is inclusive. Right, there hasn't been someone show up here that we haven't found a spot for.
And there never will be.
No. Absolutely. So this is the most inclusive game that I've ever come across.
Well, you were part of it.
Yeah,
it must be inclusive. Like short,
old,
fat, and you're still playing.
Still playing, yeah.
Getting older. Yeah. Like you've aged like 20 years just in this filming session.
And that's like a week.
Yeah.
But just looking at the kids' teams and seeing the raw talent that's there, and the way both coaches are harnessing that talent, it's exciting. It just makes me smile because I know that we're going to get them in the senior team.
Exactly that, yeah.
And it's the thing that I look back on, and the rosters that I've been proud to be part of. A lot of the names on those rosters, even rosters of other teams these days. To be fair, there is. You don't have to look too far until you find a product of the Knights youth set up. It's some of the best teams up to the highest levels. It's outstanding, and it's the reason why we are literally pushing and helping the two guys to bring this on as best as we can. Even the guy behind the camera right now, just looking around.
Product of our youth, junior.
Absolutely. So Lexi over there, he's exactly what we're talking about, and it's just brilliant that we can bring
focus
this on.
Focus
absolutely.
on it. Yeah.
Sort of grasp it and get everything that we can from it. It's brilliant.
I think it's huge. So as far as if anyone's out there watching and they know someone between the ages of 13 and 18, find us, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube now. Get in contact with us, send us a little private message, DM or whatever they're called nowadays. Get in contact and put you in contact with one of these two and come along and get involved. And that goes with parents as well.
Absolutely.
We're trying to build the management team as well, because as Tango said at the beginning of all of this was, being a head coach, there's an awful lot of managerial stuff that you need to get done. And we would really like our coaches to be able to focus on coaching. So we're looking to, if you're out there and you want to get involved with football, but playing is not necessarily for you, then, get in touch, get in contact. And you can potentially get involved with the management side of things, and there's always a job for everyone.
Definitely, obviously, at the senior team, obviously now there's a lot more managerial side of people, but obviously, even parents, we obviously try and encourage them to help out where possible. Obviously.
Wives, girlfriends,
Boyfriends,
significant others. You had to go there.
Well, it's 2020, bro.
Yeah. All right, but. So yeah, so reach out. You'll find us on all the channels the coach just spoke of. www.rushmoornights.com. That takes you to our new singing, dancing team app, which is the best way to get hold of us these days. But whatever you have to do, reach out, come along, say hi, and get involved.
Cool. Anything else you two want to say? Take the chance.
Hey, come play for us. Come and have a go. If you can't play, be a first aider, be a physio, management. We need people to sort out the accounts. We've got a position for anyone. A cameraman. We need everything. So
Cameraman Alexis like, no, that's my
that's my job.
Game day.
No, we need everyone.
Anyone and everyone.
Yeah, even if you're a sports coach and you want to learn something else, something different. Myself and Glenn, we take you on help because we need help, and we teach you the way it goes. Just come down, give American football a go. That's coming from me. There you go.
Oh yeah, completely reiterate that. Even if you want to get involved in coaching, obviously we can always help out at the lower levels and the junior and youth levels to get people coached. If then they want to go up to the seniors, then there's always that opportunity. But yeah, wherever you want to help out, we'll always find a space for you.
Cool. Happy days. Mr. Prez, you got anything?
I think it's all been said now. So
cool.
Literally, keep watching, keep tuning in, and
it's inclusive. There's no beer, no food.
No beer, no food.
No beer, no food yet.
That's all inclusive. Sorry.
Yeah. So, but we're working on, sort of.
It's only episode 2.
The reach out program to the local businesses and stuff.
We need a brewery.
Yeah.
By episode 3, we'll have snacks
let's see what we can do.
Yeah, for stuff on it.
We'll have a bigger table and some bigger chairs, hopefully.
So
cool.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Happy.